Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. I'm often being asked about how to become a registered electrical energy manager with Energy Commission. In this video, I will share with you the first tips on how to apply to become a REEM. In this video, I will share about the application process, the evaluation and scoring system, the qualification requirement, and finally, how to fill the application form online. This is the process flow of the applications. First of all, you need to apply online. The process will take place once the Energy Commission receives the application online. They will process your application. If they need more information, they will ask from you, and if everything is complete, they will call you for an interview. In the interview, it will be seen as the final assessment. So your application is all about on how you can convince Energy Commission to call you for the interview session. And then if you pass, you will be notified. If you don't, you will be notified as well. Once you have notified you have passed, you have to pay the registration fee, and then once you're being issued the certificate as a REEM, you have to renew the certificate every year, and then you need to attend some programs that will be shared later. So this is the overall process of the application. This is the first flow of the process. There is another way on how you can become energy manager or a REEM. The second process is you must complete and pass the Energy Managers Training Program approved by Energy Commission. And then your application to become a REEM will be submitted through the training provider. And this process, the second flow of the process, the applicants will not be required to be interviewed by Energy Commission straight away. So you have two options. One, you apply directly here. Apply directly. If you feel you are qualified, you can apply directly. You don't need to attend any training program. It is not a mandatory requirement. This is often being misunderstood by many. You don't have to attend any training program for you to become a REEM. If you feel you are qualified, you fill up the form, you apply directly to the Energy Commission, you'll be called for the interview, and then if you pass the interview, you can become REEM. The second way is you can attend any training program that endorsed by Energy Commission, and then you can submit your application through the training provider, and then you don't have to go for the interview by Energy Commission. Example of training provider that provides such training program is Malaysia Association of Energy Service Companies, or Malaysia Green Tech Climate Change Center, and other training program providers such as University Technology Malaysia. So how to apply? If you want to apply directly to Energy Commissions, first you need to open an account with eCourse at ST or Energy Commission website. And then you have to fill and complete the application form in the eCourse. In the submission, you must attach a report on energy saving projects. And of course, you must provide all the information and supporting documents as stated in the application form. And the process fee for the direct application to Energy Commission is only 20 ringgit. And if you need, you have to provide medical evidence if requested by Energy Commission. And this is an example of the website. This is the website of Energy Commission. You have to go to this website, and then you can register. You can apply from here, eCourse ST. Now let's understand how you'll be scored. I'm not sure whether this one is still being used or not, but this is what being used last time. Okay, I don't know, but you have to check with Energy Commission about the scoring. After you being called for the interview, okay, you have to come to Energy Commission to go for the interview. in the interview process, there'll be two parts involved. First part, when you arrive at your commission, you will be given a quiz, written quiz. Okay, and then the written quiz will take you about 30 minutes roughly, and then after that you will be called for the verbal interview, oral interview. Normally it will take about between 20 to 30 minutes as well, or even longer depending on the panels. But what will be topics covered in the written quiz and also in the interview? It will cover two elements. One, it involves the Act and regulations under SD that related to energy managers or registered electrical engineer manager. And second part, it will cover technical, cover theoretical and application part related to energy efficiency. Okay. And the scoring for the quiz, written quiz, the total score is 20%, which will cover 10% from the Act and regulations and 10% from the technical. Normally there will be 4 questions, 2 on Act and regulations, 2 questions on the technical. And don't worry, because this technical question is quite simple. It's not that difficult normally. But I don't know now. Honestly, I don't know now. Okay. And then for the interview, similar. But the scoring for the interview is 80% of the total score. Means that 30% from the Act and regulations and 50% from the technical. So have to be prepared. For candidates to be qualified to become a REEM, they must score at least 50%. So must be 20% from the Act and regulations and 30% from the technical to pass. Okay, but honestly, this one you have to check with Energy Commission again, because I don't know whether this one is still applicable or not. But this is roughly last time. So what's actually the requirements? So to become a REEM, first of all, you must be a Malaysian citizen, at least 23 years old, and you must at least hold a certificate or registration as a professional engineer under the Registration of Engineers Act. Okay, and you must have at least 6 months experience in efficient management of electrical energy at installation, or you must hold a degree in science, engineering, architecture or its equivalent, and possess at least 1 year working experience in the efficient management of electrical energy regulations. Thirdly, you must hold or you must hold a certificate of competency issued by Energy Commission as electrical service engineer or competent electrical engineer, at least with 9 months of working experience in efficient management of electrical energy regulations. You must have either one, not all, either one. Okay. Either professional engineer, or you have a degree in science, architecture or engineering, or you have the competence certificate from Energy Commission, your electrical services engineer or competent electrical engineer. Because in the regulations, you must demonstrate that you have the knowledge on the requirement of the Act and regulation that satisfy Energy Commission. This is why you are being called for the interview. Because under Regulations 12, under the Regulation 12, the Energy Commissions may require any person to attend an interview to ascertain his qualifications. That's why you're being called for the interview. Okay. Next, you have to fill up the application form if you want to apply directly. First of all, you must fill up the information in the application form online. First part A, B, C is about general and personal informations, employment and qualifications. And second part, you have to fill up about the working experience. Okay, part D is all about your working experience. And then the most important part is part E. In this part E, they got 3 elements. Part E1, you must mention in the application form your detailed experience in efficient management of energy. Second one, you must submit or attach in the submissions energy saving project report. And finally, you must also mention about your training that you have attended related to efficient management of energy. And this example of the in the part D in the online application form. You have to fill up this part online. Okay, and this one, part E 1, 2, 3. Okay, you have to open this one. You must open the ACOS accounts. You know, they will give you the password to access, and then you can have a look on all this. Okay, so this is my first video on the application to become REEM, and in my next video, I will share some example, okay, on how you're supposed to write your detailed experience about efficient management of energy in your application. So I hope the first video is helpful to you, and then if you're interested to become REEM, please apply. I do encourage you to become a REEM because it will be additional competency for you, and also it will be good for you to have some more certified certificate from the authority. Bear in mind, the REEM certificate is the only certificate so far related to energy efficiency or energy management authorized by or issued by the authority, which is the Energy Commission. Thank you. Until we meet up in the next video. All the best. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching and listening. Okay, bye. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and salam sejahtera. My name is Zaini bin Abdul Wahab. I am a registered electrical engineer manager since 2012. Before I became the registered electrical engineer manager, I was working with ST or Energy Commission for almost 6 years. I was the one that who was in charge in implementing the efficient management of electrical energy regulation in 2008. It was enforced fully from 2009, and then I was the one that who prepared all the application process to become REEM when I was in ST. In fact, I interviewed about the first 160 over registered electrical engineer manager when they applied to become a REEM at Energy Commission from 2009 until 2010. And in this video, the second part of this video, I would like to share on how to become a REEM, through the application to ST directly. Means that you have to apply directly to ST. And I hope my sharing will be useful for you so that more REEMs can be available in the market. Personally, even though I'm also a REEM, I'm also providing service as a REEM for over 30 companies now as a REEM. I am happy if we have more REEM in the market because we can have a very healthy competitions. Therefore, I hope this second part of this video will be helpful for you, for anyone who wanted to become a REEM, or you can forward to your friends who wanted to become REEM. Because since I left government in 2012, I received a lot of queries, a lot of questions, a lot of requests to guides on how to become REEM. That's why I hope this video will be helpful. And then for those who watched the first video, this video will be enlightening further to continue your process to apply to become a REEM. So enjoy the video. Thank you for watching, and I hope that will be useful for you. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and salam sejahtera. In this second video, I will share with you again on the next part of the application to become a registered electrical energy manager with Energy Commission or REEM. In this video, I will share with you about on how to fill up the application form online. Now we have reached at part E. Before that, I would like to highlight further on part D. In part D, in the application form, is about your experience on your works. Basically, just your working experience. And this will cover all experiences that you have throughout your career. It's not particularly related to energy management, but general experience of working in your career. Example, how to fill up the form at part D, I share here, have a look. This is the example in the part D of the application form. This is about your general experience of your works. In this example, Example, there's in the form you mentioned there your names and your employee, your employer, and then your designation and when you started, and then your scope of works. If you look here, I think for the name and address of the employer should be no problem, designation or no problem, but in this tarikh mula and tamat, or the durations, you just give some indications, maybe if not date, just give between 1 month to what month. But here in this scope of works or bidang tugas, you can add here all your experience. This is the challenge, because some of us, many engineers don't like to write. That's why you always have difficulty to fill up. They say nothing much to write. But if you start to write correctly or properly one by one, you'll be surprised how much you have done over the years. For example, here in this particular example, he was at the present, he is now the head of the department, and he was head of the quality department. Okay, if you look here, if you on the right side here, all listed basically your job description. This you can refer either to your formal official work job description, or you can add, because I guess over years you have a lot of your works added compared to your initial job description. So example here, and then he was a engineer. All right, so engineer. So this is example of how to fill up part D in the application form. It's basically your general experience in your career or in your job. Okay. Now we come to the most important part of the application form, which is part E. Part E, we have three sub item there. The first item is your job experience, work experience related to efficient management of electrical energy that you have done. Look here, tugas-tugas berkenaan pengurusan tenaga elektrik dengan cekap yang pernah dilaksanakan. And you must fill up that according to the format provided by ST in the lampiran A or attachment A. Okay, and then second part of the part E is you need to attach energy saving project reports or laporan projek or tugas berkenaan pengurusan tenaga elektrik dengan cekap. And you must follow the reports on any energy saving projects according to these guidelines here. Okay, and finally part item number 3 in part E is all trainings that you have attended related to energy efficiency or efficient management of energy. Now let me share with you what is lampiran A. Lampiran A is basically the details on what is supposed to submit to ST. Okay, this is lampiran A. I show example here. This is the format of lampiran A. What do they have at the title here? The name and address of the perpasangan or the installation or your company, and then your duties, the tugas-tugas pengurusan tenaga elektrik dengan cekap yang dilaksanakan. Means that your duties related to efficient management of energy that you have done. And then if you have a project here you put your projects here. And you put the details here, penjelasan terperinci tentang tugas-tugas pengurusan tenaga elektrik dengan cekap yang telah dilaksanakan. And then what's actually your role in that particular projects or task. And then here, there's part here, on the top here, you put here your tarikh or bulan, tahun, mula and tamat. Means that the months, estimated when it started and when it's finished roughly. And then your total involvement, okay, in weeks. If you look here, this is where a lot of people, feeling it so difficult, For example here, even though they put it like this, but what you can put here, similar to just now, but this lampiran A for part E1 is only your experience related to energy management. So it can be your experience in energy saving projects, be involved in projects in particular, replacement of chillers, change of efficient motor, or that. And also, this is another thing that people often overlook, your experience in energy management. Energy management experience doesn't mean you have to involve in projects sometimes. Sometimes you involve in the reporting. All right, you're involved in the energy management system. You're involved in ISO 2001. You're involved in preparing the business case. You're involved in preparing the budget for the saving project. That also can be seen experience, because often being misunderstood that energy management experience all about implementing energy saving project, which is not. So this I show you an example here. All right, example here. These candidates, okay, these candidates has got experience in management. Alright, example here, he got experience in energy management system based on ISO 2001-2001. So this is all his duties. He listed all his duties here. He was the management representative. He did all the assessment. All here. This is example here. Hope you can see the example here. He drafted the policy. Alright, he do some monitoring, supervising, put up reporting. He developed, the system, and then put up proposals. Conducted internal audit on energy management system, awareness programs. So this part is management. Okay, if you look, it's not projects here. It's management. He was involved in the energy management system development. Okay, and then next part, example here. This is projects. Okay, example here, he was involved in the placement of the genset. Genset. And then he prepared the technical spec. Not directly the project per se, but he prepared the spec or BOQ. Okay, this is his position. You see the expected time. Alright, and then next one, also projects. Here, placement of the pumps. Okay, to more energy efficient pumps. And this is what he did. And this is some indication of the duration of the projects. Okay, bear in mind, even they put here, alright, put here month to month, but it doesn't mean that there must be a 8 hours job a day. This is about your involvement in that project. Maybe a few months, maybe you involved in a few months. Of course, you won't spend the whole day, It's not your full-time job. But it should be sufficient, show that throughout that period, you have the experience. Alright, let's say the project took 3 months. It means that your experience is 3 months. Even though in 3 months, you don't do the job full-time for that particular project. This is what they mean by experience. You know why? Because I was the one who designed this form last time. Because I was the one that prepared all this last time. Because I was from ST, the one that preparing all this application form. That's why this is the purpose of this in this particular form. So don't worry. So just fill up here. But what often being difficult for some people is that to write. This is the challenge. But the one I cannot help you. What you need to do here, just write whatever, put a notes form, What I'm suggesting, you start to just put a point form. And then you start to make it look better by putting up a proper sentence. I can guarantee you'll be surprised, how much you can write if you do that way. Okay, see this one example, okay, on the part E1 about your experience in efficient management of energy. I show you another example. Another example here. Okay, this is example for somebody in a factory. Okay, involved in a compressed air improvement. Basically, just changing of air compressor. But it is how he wrote this one. So it's a matter of how you put it, for the energy commission to look at. You have that experience. Look here, or the right up here. Initially, what he did, he put just a point form, but subsequently, I assisted this guy on how to write it properly. That's why he come up with a very nice sentence here. You look here. Similar, his designation, and then his involvement, and then total weeks he was involved in the projects. Similar to this, if you look here. Alright. And then this one, he was involved in projects. And the second part, he was involved in management. Energy management implementation and legal compliance. Because he was involved in assisting the existing REEM in the factory. So he just mentioned, why put here? Just assist the maintenance manager in collecting data, updating and preparing data for the submission by the REEM, all this here. And all this we can consider as experience. Alright, so that's why this is where a lot of people feel that, have doubts, okay? But don't worry, you can reach me for me to assist you if you need to know further. Alright? Okay, next one, another example here. This is my own this is my own submission when I was applied to become a REEM last time, because I was from Energy Commission, but I could not become a REEM when I was in Energy Commission. So after I left Energy Commission, and then I applied to become a REEM. So this is my application last time. Alright, application, my own personal application, you know. Even though I was former ST, you know, but I don't get a green lane, so I have to apply. I follow the normal procedure. This is my projects. Okay, I involved in the management system. I involved in the detailed energy audit, consider technical experience, and all in here. Okay. Alright. So I hope now we have better idea about how to fill up the form in item number 1 in part 3. Okay, I hope this helped you. Okay, because this is often what I met many people, that this is where there are a lot of people unsure what to write, what to put in. But I can guarantee you, the moment you start to put in writings, put a point form, and then you start to write exactly what you're involved, you'll be surprised how much you can write exactly. How much you can write. Okay, it's a lot. I think over the years of your experience, you know, you have involved a lot. Maybe you have involved in the LED projects, you know, the lighting projects, motor project, replace motors. Because if even though your projects, you know, is not on your own project, particularly alone, you did not do it on your own. You do have a team to do that projects. It's fine. It's fine because you can highlight exactly your role. Yeah, of course, it's quite impossible in a big factory or big building. You know, the project is totally you were doing it alone. No, it's often a team. But in this particular case, you just highlight what exactly you do. For example, if you are the project manager, I would say basically you are involved in everything. So you can write everything that you about the projects. Okay. So I hope this part 2 of this video has helped you to understand further on how to prepare your submission to apply to become a REEM with Energy Commission. So I think it should be enough. Okay, part E1, okay, on the experience in efficient management of energy, and I hope I will share more in the part 3 later, part 3 in the next video, on how to prepare the energy saving project report, which need to be attached in the submission to Energy Commission if you want to become a REEM as well. So thank you very much. I hope this sharing is useful for you. So if you want to apply, start your initiative, start the job, and start to open your e-course account, and then you can start to understand the form, and then start to fill out the information. Along the way, I'm here to assist you whichever necessary. Thank you very much. So see you in the next video. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and salam sejahtera. Just for the record, actually have been coaching for those who wanted to become REEM since 2013. Why? Because I'm happy to see more REEM in the market. That's why I coach some people who they are qualified, but they are not sure how to apply, and sometimes they just unsure whether they are qualified or not. And these people normally are very experienced. They met all the requirements, but they just unsure how to apply, and especially on the what to do in the applications. You know, they just unsure how to fill up the form, you know, what kind of reports, what kind of projects, all that. Therefore, I assisted numbers of them. I think since 2013, I've managed to get over 80 persons, you know, candidates to become REEM through direct applications. You know, they apply directly to Energy Commissions to become REEMs. So for those who become REEMs, all the best to you. And for those who want to become REEM, I hope this sharing in this series of video on the application to become REEM will be helpful for you. Thank you very much. Okay, see you in the next video. Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. See you again in the part 3 of this video on the application to become a registered electrical energy manager with Energy Commission, or ST. In this part 3 of this video, I would like to share with you, continue with the part E of the online application form. In this part E, now we go to part E2. Part E2 actually is about preparing the energy saving project reports, or laporan projek or tugas berkenaan pengurusan tenaga elektrik dengan cekap. For this report, you have to follow the guideline is prepared by the Energy Commission in the application form, as highlighted in this slide in red color box. Let me go to review what exactly the requirement for this energy efficiency project reports. I share with you the guidelines prepared and I enlighten further just for the purpose of understanding. So the whole idea of the submission of the project report is for the Energy Commission to gauge your knowledge and experience. The project must be related to any energy efficiency or any energy management activity that have or potentially resulted in energy saving. And then the format and sequence of the information to be provided are clearly outlined in the application form as a basic or minimum information required to be assessed by the Energy Commissions. The whole idea of this submission of project again is to provide the evidence that applicants have some hands-on experiences in implementing energy efficiency projects to complement their experiences in energy management as listed in part E1 in the application that we discussed in the previous video, part 2. For the submission of the application, a project report on energy efficiency must be attached together with the application. It will make your application complete. If not, it's considered incomplete. And the minimum requirement is at least one electrical energy related projects. Must be something that powered by electricity. So there are two types of projects which are accepted by the Energy Commission for the submission to become a REEM. The first type of the project is project that has been implemented at any installation, regardless of whether it is at your current facility or the facility that you used to work. So means that the project that has been implemented from the conceptual ideas, implementation, and to the reporting on the saving achieved. However, it's difficult to get anyone involved. Just only one person involved in all stages of the project alone, right? So when there is a project that involves a group of people in a team, but for the purpose of the submission, what you can do, the applicant should submit projects identified, implemented by the team, but they must be able to specify what exactly their involvement and their role in the project or in the team. So the projects number 2, the type 2 project can be submitted is energy audit or technical or feasibility studies at any installations. So in this type of projects, the findings sometimes are partly implemented or not implemented yet. So energy audits, a technical study where key objectives are to identify energy saving opportunity that may involve measurement and analysis of data. And then normally the projects will involve the application of knowledge on basics energy saving measure by the person for different type of energy using equipment or system in order to identify the energy saving opportunity. So they involve some kind of knowledge for them to be able to identify the saving potential. And that will also involve, if you conduct a study or energy audit or feasibility study, they will involve some basic engineering calculations to estimate the energy saving potential or the quantity. And a report for such activity is also considered as an energy efficiency project and qualified for the submission to become a REEM. So now here we have two types. One, project that's already implemented, completed, you have seen the result, you will manage to show the result, or the project that only at the study stage, means that you have done some study, you have done some analysis, but the project just not being implemented yet due to various reasons, maybe because of budget, because of some other issue. But basically it involves some technical calculation, all that. So this is the format of the report. What exactly the information that required in the reports? This is for the item number 1 until item number 4 is basically the general informations. The title, the overview of the project, and then the team members,
the team members' roles, and then the person, the applicant's role in the team, and then the preparation stage of the projects. Item number 1 and 4, I don't see a problem for any of you to understand. All basically general information. Okay, and then this is the most important part. Item number 5 until number 7. Number 5 exactly actually is about what exactly the energy efficiency principle that being applied in the projects. Basically, just a basic description, of key engineering or energy efficiency principle for the applications or technology application that will be improve energy performance, that will save at the end, save energy for the proposed projects. For example, this is an example. Let's say the principle, basically you use, for example, the motto. You change the motto from the standard motto, mean that you change to the energy efficient motto, mean that you change from the standard motto to energy efficient motto. And then you can mention the type of motto, either IE1, 2, 3, all that. Okay, normally you go for IE3, depending on the classification of the efficiency. Or you can change, you are changing the lighting system from T8, T5 to LED lights. Means that you are changing the normal lighting system, least efficient lighting system, to more energy efficient lighting system. Or if you change a chiller, for example, you change the old normal chiller to chiller with the more energy efficient chiller with the variable speed drive, chiller with all the features which is more efficient. Okay, so this is what does it mean by here in number 5. Basically, what kind of energy efficiency principle applied in the project itself. Okay, sometimes you just add variable speed drive to the motor, which has a variable in the loads. That's why you can write there, basically the use of variable speed drive to enhance the efficiency of the motor operations. And then number 6. And number 6, very important. This is the element where you have to show some calculation of energy saving potential from the projects. You must show some basic engineering or technical calculations to estimate potential of energy saving values that can be achieved from the proposed projects or measure. This is quite particular for ST to assess. This is where you cannot put assumption. For example, I use this saving based on the rule of thumb, 10% saving or 5% saving. You cannot do that. You must show some basic calculation on how you derive the number. You cannot simply put the rule of thumb, based on the studies, 10% saving, and you take that 10% and then you get the kilowatt hour savings. Okay, from here in this number 6, ST will have a close look in this. This is where they need to understand your basic knowledge, on energy savings. Okay, my experience tells me that there are a lot of cases last time they just put some kind of very basic rule of thumb kind of thing. So it cannot be done. You must show some proper calculation on how you estimate the saving. It must be in the energy units. For ST, they're not really worried about the REEM being saved. They're more just interested to see how much in terms of energy unit to be saved from that proposed project or measure. Okay, and number 7, type of methodology and calculation used to measure any saving result from the implementing the projects. For example, you mentioned in the report that for any saving measurement, this is from the measurement of the data based on the data logging. Okay, and then you calculate the saving from the data collected from the data logging exercise. Okay, or you can put there the measurement based on the submeter. So we measure the saving from the data collected from the submeter before and after. Sometimes it's a combination. It's either purely from calculations, you estimate the saving, you measure the saving, or from measurement, means that you put a meter, you take the data before and after, or just the combination between the two, means that you take the data from the measurement and then you use to calculate the savings. Okay, and then number 8, finally, okay, not finally, number 8 actually, if the project involves some money or involve some cost, you need to put some kind of basic financial information of the project. For example, simple payback period calculations, return of investment, or life cycle cost of the projects. Okay, I would like to emphasize again here, the item number 5, 6, 7 is very, very important. You must do it carefully. Okay, but however, ST doesn't expect you to put up a calculation as detailed as just like you want to design the project. You are the designer of the project. No, it's not. Anyway, later I show you some example, how the example of the project reports and how they calculate the saving. And then the item number 9, 10, 11, basically 9 basically if the projects being planned, just put some kind of information how the project was, how the plan about the project to be implemented. Maybe you can put some kind of a Gantt chart or the write out or the sequence of the projects, you know, to be during the implementation. And number 10, if the project has got the result, just show the result, just indicate the value of the result, and you compare with the projected savings from item number 6 just now, okay, in the report. And then if the project is not implemented yet, just mention that the project is not implemented yet. And then number 11, you just put whatever you need to attach with the report to make your project much more convincing, or your report much more convincing. You can put the technical spec, you can put the drawings, whatever necessary to support your submission. And I do recommend in the project you should put some kind of photos. You know, photos normally tells a lot. It will look more impressive. So if you have a project, you do some measurement, take the photo of the measurement. You have the project before and after, show the site, you know, before and after installation of the equipment or system and all that. Okay, so that's about the project's guidelines. And then now I would like to share with you the example of the projects. Let me have a look here. Show here this example of the projects. If you look here, this is the title. This is the first page of the project, the title. Okay. You have to prepare in such a way that you are preparing a proper project report. Put the title here. This example, one of the candidates that I coached last time. I think this one is 2015, 2014. I cannot recall already. Okay, this guy is now a REEM. So and then they have a content here. So this content basically will refer to the guide prepared by Energy Commission in the application form. Okay, just like a typical reports. And then you can see the information here. Okay, overview of the projects. Okay, and then the project team members. And in this kind of chart, you highlight where you are. Highlight where you are. Okay, and then your roles, and then the preparation of the projects. What has been done to prepare for the projects, some kind of the initial works that has been done before the project being implemented here. You can have a look. Okay, and all this basically general information. And then we come to the most important part of the projects. First one, in this case, very simple, right? Look here, the energy efficiency principle applied. Basically, what being applied here, they want to improve the energy performance, and we save energy in the proper project by using the pumps. Means that you are selecting the pumps with high efficiency motors. Okay, means that they are talking about high energy performance pumps, and also they add with the soft starters here. And then number 5, you see part 5 here. Okay, they explain about the saving potentials. Okay, expected performance about this percentage, and then expected to be achieved at this percentage. Okay, based on the what achieved. And then if you look at the table, the next one, they did a comparison. This is the calculation what I mentioned. This is about some sample of the calculations. That's difficult. See, if you have the information, you have some knowledge, you should be able to do this. In this particular case, they compare between the standard pumps and the one that they propose. And then this is how they show how they estimate the efficiency. Okay, here. And from here, they calculate the savings. This is the operating year, operating our consumption per year. And then how much they save, they compare between these two here, the efficient and standard. From there, they calculate the cost, and finally, they calculate the cost saving. So here, in this case, they have the energy cost saving and also the monetary cost savings. Okay, and then to show the evidence here, they ask to refer to the pump performance test result. And here, very simple here, how they measure the savings. So here, in this case, they mention based on the pump performance test carried out after the installation and commissioning of the pumps. And for the continuous energy performance monitoring, they put they already have the built-in power meter to monitor consumption of the pumps. Okay, and that's it. That's it. This is the most important part, right? The principle applied, saving potential being calculated, and then the measurement of the savings, method of measurement of the savings. And then this is some basic financial analysis because they probably involve some costs. Okay, they also mention here about other benefits, and then steps involved in implementations, and then the result. The result here. Okay, and then all the appendices. So that's it. Okay, this is an example of the project. So very simple. It's not that like very highly technical kind of project report is expected from the candidates. Because the whole idea is just for the Energy Commission to gauge your knowledge. This project, we help them to gauge your hands-on experience and knowledge. Alright? So, however, all this basically just to convince them to call you for the interview. Okay? For the interview. Okay? That's all. Okay, and then, if you look here, and finally, in part E, for the part E of the part E, the last of part E3 is this one. I think it's no problem because it's all about all training program that you have attended. Okay, just to follow the format in the form, I guess show the example straight away here. Okay, just like this. Okay, this is my own submission last time. So no, yeah, not really. This is the candidate from my previous company. Sorry. Okay, so I coach this engineer. He's now a REEM now. Okay, so this is the training that I've attended. All this, scope, bidang, whatever. They have study. They learn in the course and the training, then the training time, all that. Okay, all this. This example. I think this one should be no problem. Anyone to fill out. So just list down all your training that you've attended related to energy management, and that's it. So that's it about part E of the submission. Okay, if you completed this one, I think your submission should be good enough. Okay, and the rest basically, or the next part of the form, basically just about the confirmation, all that. So okay, so that's it for video number 3 on filling up the critical element information in the application form. So with that, I hope this video has helped you, useful for you. And then if you want to reach me, you know where to reach me. This is the number here for me to assist through email or through text. Okay, with that, thank you very much for listening, and see you in the next video. In the next video, I will share basically about the preparation for the interview once you are called for the interview by the Energy Commissions. Okay, thank you very much. All the best to you in your submission. Hi everyone, it's nice to see you again in this third video on the application on how to become a registered educator and manager with Energy Commission. Just to add more point about the type of project that can be submitted to the Energy Commission for the submission. First one, please avoid projects related to improving the power factor or fixing your harmonic issue.
For Energy Commission, normally they won't consider this one as energy saving project. This project normally about power quality. Second one, please avoid sending a project about so-called energy saving device. You can see sometimes there are some devices being sold in some supermarkets everywhere about just saving kilowatt hour. Because for the submission for ST, we are talking about energy efficiency project. Means that you save energy, same time you don't compromise the output. That's why we often looking into the proven technology like motors, efficient chillers, efficient lighting system, efficient controls, or that. Something that you can calculate through some technical calculations or engineering calculation on how the saving is estimated with some engineering principle, and also how the saving can be calculated and how can be quantified. Normally for this kind of energy saving device project, they just tell how much they can save from certain value that they just assume without any calculation. For example, 10%, 5%, or that. Sometimes they just based on the testimonial of the previous user of the particular device. So again, avoid that kind of projects. Normally ST won't recognize that as any saving project, just because we need to submit energy efficiency projects. Means that you save energy through the applications, same time you don't compromise the output. Okay, thank you very much. I hope you can proceed with your submission and complete your applications. Thank you very much. See you again in the next video. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. Happy to see you again in this part 4 of my video on how to become a registered electrical energy manager with Energy Commission or REEM. In this fourth video of this process to become a registered electrical energy manager, I would like to share with you after you have submitted your application to Energy Commission online with all the documentation completed, and then ST will call you for interview session. Okay, now what I would like to share in this video is how to prepare yourself for the interview. However, I must put a disclaimer here. This is purely from my experience. I don't know whether ST has changed the way they assess it here now or not. I don't know, because this is purely what I've been experienced last time, what I prepared when I was one of the panelists and still last time, and what I experienced myself when I became the REEM, when I went for the interview. Okay, so actually what exactly you will be assessed. Okay, the first item that you will be assessed is basically based on what actually the project that you have submitted in your applications. Okay, they will try to gauge you, they ask further about your knowledge about the projects, to show that you really did the projects, and then they will reflect on your experience in that project. So if they want to know something further based on what you submitted in the report, they will ask during the interview. First they will ask you about project that you have submitted. Okay, so you have to be truthful. At least you must be able to convince them that you know everything about the projects. For example, if you are doing the project in a team, you cannot say that, oh, this part I didn't do it. I'm the mechanical engineer, this part electrical engineer did it. So you cannot answer that way. So you must be able to explain overall about the projects. So it shouldn't be that you try to find excuses because you cannot answer because you're not part of it, because this was your project that you submitted. Okay, then on the first part of the what will be assessed. The second part of what will be assessed basically is your knowledge and about the all the law that governed by ST or enforced by ST. Okay, basically not that many law. So ST basically what they ask basically about some key provision in the Act itself. The Act is actually Electricity Supply Act 1990, which is mainly the Acts are all about supply and safety mainly. Okay, so they will ask what's but one more thing, when the panel asks you about the law, the name of the law, make sure you answer the name of the law correctly, either in English or in Malay. Normally, regulators or panel are very sensitive when you answer the name of the law that they are enforcing or they are governing, is wrong. So be mindful, it's either right or wrong. Okay, so you have to memorize the name of the law correctly. If the name is Electricity Supply Act 1990 mentioned fully the name of the act is Electricity Supply Act 1990 or Akta Bekal Elektrik 1990. Okay, so they ask what's this law about. So if you ask me, that my tip is that they won't ask detailed provision by provision, but for the act they will ask what's the law all about. So you may answer, okay, the law basically mainly on the supply of electrical energy, also the safety part of electrical energy, and partly they have some provision about efficiency, okay, energy efficiency. So the second law that being enforced by Energy Commission is the safety on safety, which is the Electricity Regulation 1994 ataupun Peraturan Elektrik 1994, which is a regulation under the same act. Instead, a regulation under the Electricity Supply 1990. Okay, so what is this regulation all about? So if they ask you what's this regulation all about, this regulation is about safety and competency requirement at electrical installation and for equipment. But the focus is often about the competent people that related to safety. For example, you should know what is the charge main, the classification, high voltage and low voltage. You know, A and B. A is for the low voltage. B is for the high voltage. What kind of charge main available? What actually basically their general duties. Okay, and then who are Juruterus Electric competent or competent electrical engineer, and then the electrical services engineer or Juruterus Perkhidmatan Elektrik. At least this normally they highlight because as a REEM, you don't have any authority when it comes to the installation or electrical installation. So whenever you work in any installation as a REEM, you must make sure that you comply to the safety requirement. At the same time, you must work with these competent people because they are authorized by the law when it comes to electrical installation on operation and safety of the electrical installation. Okay, that's the second regulation. So that's all what you need to know basically. Okay, again, the name must be mentioned correctly. Okay, and then the second part of the next regulation is this regulation that we are planning to become REEM, which is the Efficient Management of Electrical Energy Regulation 2008. And this they will ask more because this is the regulation that related to you directly. So that you have to remember some key provisions. Okay, key provisions. For example, the most normally what they normally ask, basically the favorite one, what are the function and duties of REEM? Okay, so you must memorize that 5 item. Okay, and then the second tip basically is what exactly the responsibility of the installation once they receive the notice from Energy Commission. So what the installation shall do once they receive the notice from Energy Commission. So you need to know what's all about. Okay, I think you can read the law, you can know. You go under Regulation 6. For the function and duties of REEM, you can refer to Regulation 16. Memorize it. Okay, and then if you go for the what responsibility of the installation, you know, once they receive the notice, is you go to Regulation 6 and 7 normally. Okay, and they also may ask, okay, what are the qualifications to become REEM? Okay, so you have to answer correctly. Okay, what are the requirement to become a REEM? The qualifications, the age, the requirement of the degree, the experience, all that. You refer to the regulation. So what my point here, for the Efficient Management of Electrical Energy Regulation 2008 or EMEER 2008 or EMEER 2008, you must know more compared to the other regulations. Okay, and also the Act. Because this is the regulation that you're planning to become REEM, right? So you have to know more. And they may ask you about the penalty, the penalty, and who's supposed to comply, what kind of installation that has normally has to comply to the regulation, all that. Okay, so you have to read the law. Okay, if possible, you rebus the law lah, and then you minum the air. Okay, just kidding. Okay, so that's the second part, what they may ask from you. Okay, they want to gauge your knowledge and understanding about the Act and regulation that govern or enforced by Energy Commission. Okay, and then the third part that you may be assessed, basically, they will ask further on your involvement and scope of work about efficient management of electrical energy. What you have, basically the experience that you have submitted or stated in your application form. So they might ask you what exactly you do, in energy management in your facility. What exactly your experience? So you must be able to answer that, confidently, clearly, all that. If you really do it, I don't see a problem for you to answer that. Okay, and then the next one, the fifth one, this is very, very important. This is normally very important, a little bit technical, but not that technical. They will ask you, they want to gauge your knowledge and or experience on common energy saving measure for at a building or industrial facilities. Okay, basically any saving measure. For example, they may ask you, okay, how you save energy in air conditioning system. Okay, so and then they may ask you how you save energy in lighting system, and then how you save energy for compressed air system, air compressors, and how you can save energy for motor system. This often only focusing on electrical powered equipment. So it won't ask you about the boiler, which is powered by gas or fuel, or furnace that powered by gas or coal. Okay, so they ask about, because this, why? Because this regulation is under Electricity Supply Act, so electrical, only for electrical energy. So this is where they will try to gauge your knowledge and experience. Because why? Because some people, to be fair, not everyone has hands-on in all that, right? For example, if you're in a factory, rarely you have sometimes you don't have the big chiller. You just maybe have plenty of motors, air compressor, but you don't have big chiller. Okay, because a lot of production, normally a production area. But if you're in the building sector, for example, okay, you have been in the building sector, you may not even have seen an air compressor, right? But that's why if you don't have the experience, they want to gauge your knowledge. Okay, so how to know all that? You have to, of course, you have experience, you can answer, but if you don't have experience, at least you must read. Okay, normally if you go for trainings, they prepare the notes. Okay, but the way you answer, you don't have to be that detailed normally. Okay, at least you can answer. Okay, for example, how you save energy in air conditioning system. My suggestion is always in a systematic way. First, you answer, okay, if talking about the centralized aircon system, first we look at the chiller. And then you say 1, 2, 3, and 4, how to save energy for chiller. And then you go to, in the chiller plant, normally they have pumps. Chilled water pump, condensed water pumps. So you have to tell them how you can save energy from the pumps. Okay, and then you go to the cooling tower. So you tell how you can save energy in cooling tower. What measure you can propose. You go to the air issue, for example, air handling units. So what you can do to issue to save energy. So that on the equipment of the system. And then you go overall, okay, in terms of temperature control, preventing the heat load, or design, all that. So this is how you answer. You should answer in a systematic way. Don't answer in such a way that you jump here. First you talk about aircon, first you talk about air compressor, first you talk about chiller. It's not systematic. Okay, and they might ask you about, let's say, how you save energy for motor system. Okay, you should be able to answer. Motor system, what we can do, of course, start with the sizings, and then you can apply variable speed drive. You can pick, you place from normal motor to more energy efficient motor with the order classification that efficiency standard, all that. Okay, this is the aspect you to, at least if you don't have the experience, you have the knowledge. Okay, you must be able to answer convincingly and clearly. You don't expect you to be an expert in all that. This is normally what a lot of people are very scared about. They thought you will be expected to answer like an expert. You don't have to. Okay, for lighting, for example, how you save energy in lighting? Okay, I'm giving you tips now. Okay, normally they will cover air conditioning system, motor system, and the lighting system, which is quite common, right? So lighting, very simple. Okay, you can do a lot of things. You can optimize the daylight. You can use LED light compared to the normal light. You can control the lighting. You can put a sensor. You can put a timer. A lot of things. You can do the lamping, all that. Okay. And the next one, they may ask you about, of course, the air compressor. How you save energy in compressor system. Okay. So of course, if you have the experience, I don't see a problem. Very simple, right? What you can expect to save energy from air compressor? Okay, you can save energy from what? First, look for the leaks. Find leakings and fix it. Save energy, right? And then you play around with the pressure. The pressure setting must be optimized. And then the piping. Okay, the sizing, the bending, all that to minimize pressure losses. Okay, these are the things that they're supposed to know. That's why they want to get your knowledge. At least Because being energy manager, you don't have to be an expert to solve all the problems, right? And in the real life. at least you know in general, and then where you can save, so that you can, if you want to do further, you can get the expert, to go to conduct energy audit of to find the solution for that. Okay, that's what managers do. Okay, so energy managers are not expected to be an expert in everything of technical of energy efficiency. Okay, so that's a part of that, what you be assessed. So you need to know common energy saving measure, at building and industrial facilities. Okay, the next item that you will be assessed, I think number 6, right? Number 6, okay. They will ask you maybe some indicator of any performance indicator for some equipment. For example, chiller. So what's the performance indicator for chiller? Normally is a kilowatt per ton, right? And then for air compressor, what the performance indicator kilowatt hour per meter square per, you have to look into that. Okay, and then a lighting system. Okay, what indicator for lighting system? Normally lumen per watts or efficacy. Okay, what else? Motor. What's indication of indicator for motor? Okay, they will ask you how you how you measure performance for this equipment, energy performance. Some indication, you have some knowledge on that. So you go and read, okay, or ask. Okay, and finally, they will assess you on the some kind of guidelines, you can refer when it comes to energy management or efficient management of energy. So not that difficult, right? You can go, for example, for the management system, how you manage energy, but you can refer to ISO 50001. Okay, for technical standard, you can refer to Malaysia MS 1525. The latest one is 2018 or 2019. I'm not sure, but at least you know some reference of about you talk about energy management, where you can refer some standard or guidelines. Okay, they got ISO 5002 for energy audit. They got ISO 5006 for the indicator and energy baseline. You got ISO 2015 for measurement and verifications. Okay, so there's few standards related to energy management you may have to mention during the interview. So basically that's all. It'll be about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items you'll be assessed. And bear in mind, you have only about half an hour to 45 minutes. Okay, it won't be that long. That's why my tip is that if you're being asked open question, for example, you tell us how you can save energy in at the factory. Okay, how you save energy, what you can do to save energy in a factory. So what you can answer is that you start with one by one. You take the opportunity to make sure that the panel won't ask you more questions. You make sure that you make the time to the most. Okay, so try to prevent from the panel to ask more questions. But what I shared with you just now, if you in your answer you can cover all that, they should be able to. It should be sufficient. Okay, so that's basically my tips on how you can prepare yourself for interview. Okay, it's not difficult actually, but sometimes people are just so worried, right? Because it's not. So I was the panel, but I was told that I was one of the toughest panel. When after I left the government, people told me I was one of the toughest one. I don't know. Okay, but for me, it's very not that difficult. You're not expected to be a specialist to answer. Your answer won't be that very detailed up to the designs kind of level of answers or that. But this should be sufficient for you. Okay. So another one thing I forgot. Before you go for the interview, and the same day normally before the interview, you'll be asked to answer quiz questions. Okay, quiz questions. They give you about half an hour. And the quiz before the interview, the oral interview, they give you some kind of a question, 4 questions. 2 questions related to the law, legal related to an act and regulations, and 2 questions about technical. I can guarantee you, out of that 4 questions, at least you can score 10%, because total score for the quiz is basically 20%. Last time I don't know now. Okay, and bear in mind, even though you at least 10%, but if you look at my first video, video number 1, okay, the scoring to pass is 50% of total. So 20% of the score will be from the quiz, 80% from the oral interview, and then from the 50%, 20% will come from the act and regulations, and 30% come from the technical questions. So even though you cannot answer well in the quiz, based on last time punya criteria, I don't know now, okay, okay, at least you still can pass, because you must be convincing at the interview. Normally the interview is the most important part, because before when I started implementing the law, the first stage, you know, there was no quiz. Okay, because under the regulation, it shouldn't be any exam. You cannot conduct any exam because no provision in the regulation that conduct exam. But at least the quiz just to make sure people coming and prepared. Because before we introduced the quiz, people came for the interview without any preparation. They thought I'm technically expert, you know, and then I can come and then I can answer everything, which is wrong. Sometimes they don't even read the law. Alright, they don't even read the law. So the quiz basically is that's why they call it quiz. They don't call it exam. That's why in the assessment criteria, even though you may fail the quiz, but you can still pass because the law only provided provision where ST can call you for interview to assess your knowledge and experience. Okay, so don't worry. Okay, but I can guarantee you, okay, the quiz at least you can score 10%. Okay, but the interview you must be convincing. Sometimes it's not about what you know. You have a knowledge, but you must practice. You know, just like typical interview, you must be very convincing. That's why I hope that the tip I share with you in this will help you in the interview. Okay, and then you can prepare yourself well. Okay, you can prepare yourself well. Okay, so because it's not difficult. Okay, it's not like a typical interview for the professional engineer or that, you know, even for to become a chargeman or to become a competent engineer or that. So it's not that to that level. But I don't know now, but that's what I can share based on my experience, what I gone through last time. Okay, I hope that will be useful for you. Okay, and then again, I want to highlight, you must know a common measure on how to save energy in the facility, either building or industrial facility. And secondly, about the law, make sure when you answer the law name, the name must be spot on. You know, Electricity Supply Act 1990, Efficient Management of Electrical Energy Regulation 2008, or Electricity Regulation 1994. Make sure the name mentioned correctly. If not, they'll be pissed off. Okay, so with that, I hope this sharing useful for you if you go for the interview, and then I wish you all the best. And one day you become the REEM, and then you can be one of REEM, and then let's do good for the industry. Let's do good for the country. Okay, with that, thank you very much again. I hope I can see you again in the next video. All the best again. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. Okay. Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. I'm sorry because when I look back the video that I recorded earlier on the tips for the interview to become a REEM, I realized that I missed one quite important point in the item to be assessed when you are being interviewed. I missed the part of about the energy audit. So during the interview, most likely you also will be asked about energy audit. Normally, if you are being asked about energy audit, at least you need to know basically what is energy audit all about, types of energy audit, for example, walkthrough energy audit, detailed energy audit, investment grade energy audit. What's this audit type all about, and then key steps steps involved in conducting energy audit. For example, the first step is data collection, which involve desktop and also the data collection at site, involves some kind of data logging, measurement, and then after that you analyze the data being collected, desktop data collected, and also the data from the site measurement, and then you brainstorm about what kind of potential area to improve, in particular where you can save energy costs, what kind of measure to be proposed in the recommendations. And then next, you have to quantify the potential savings or improvement, and then you must conduct some basic financial analysis, cost involved, and then you have to calculate the simple payback period or the ROI or the measures to be implemented if it will cost, and then you have to prepare the report from the energy audit. So basically, you need to know you need to have some idea what is energy audit all about. And also they may ask about some common energy audit equipment. Means that basically it's about common energy audit measurement equipment when you conducted energy audit. For example, for chiller, what equipment you may use to conduct energy audit for chiller, for motors, data logging for electrical data and all that. So with that, I hope this will complete the one that I missed in the first video. And again, thank you very much for watching and listening, and all the best in your interview. All the best. I hope one day I can see you as a REEM as well. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. Okay, bye. Now actually I'm at the beach. Tomorrow I got training to conduct. So just arrived in Kuantan, Cerating. Sorry, not Kuantan, Cerating. So tomorrow I have a training. So all the best again. Thank you very much for watching and listening. Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera. Terima kasih kerana menonton video ni lagi. I received quite a numbers of queries related to my video on the guideline for the interview to become a REEM. Okay, I received quite a number of queries personally, some from my text and some from my personal messages in my Facebook, some even in my LinkedIn account. Okay, so the most of the queries about they are worry, you know. For example, for those who are not electrical engineer, okay, you know that I'm a mechanical engineer, you know. I'm not even electrical engineer. Okay, bear in mind, even though the name of the regulation or the name of the title is registered electrical engineer manager, because this regulation is under the Electricity Supply Act. That's the only reason why they have to put the name electrical engineer manager. You know, but that's why they put the requirement to become a REEM. You can be the degree in any engineering field, okay, and also architecture or science, because you are expected to be a manager. Okay, don't worry if you are not electrical engineer. You are just mechanical, even chemical engineer. That's why ST is very nice. You see, ST, if you look at their website, they have a very quite detailed guides, you know, about requirement. You know, for you to be for those who want to become a REEM, you don't have to be a so-called expert, okay, either in electrical or even energy efficiency. You don't have to be an expert, but you must need to know some common or information, some specific information about engine management and whatever being guided in ST. If you look at the website, okay, you go to the ST website, how to become a registered electrical engineer manager. They have one guidelines there. They call it for prospective registered electrical engineer managers. They mention clearly there, okay, what kind of knowledge and experience you should have, you know, for you to become a REEM. Okay, they mention that in the guideline. They mention about information, knowledge about energy audit. I know many of you may not conduct energy audit, but sometimes you never realize it. You have conducted energy audit, but not in a so-called energy audit per se, because you never see energy audit. For example, if you want to change your chiller, for example, old chiller, okay, you normally what you do some assessment, right? Some assessment, even some measurement, because you know what's the current performance of the chiller. So you measure chiller performance, you manage to come up with the current chiller kilowatt per ton of your chiller. Okay, and then from there you come up with a solution what chiller to change. So that basically a part of energy audit. Okay, but for as in terms of knowledge, you should know at least what is energy audit about. You should know what types of energy audit. Okay, and then you need to know the key steps involved in you conduct energy audit. Okay, I explained in the last video. Okay, and then common equipment that you need to know about to conduct energy audit. Let's say you want to audit motor system, electrical system, aircon system. What equipment you may use to conduct energy audit? And all this you can write. You can read. You may not conduct energy, may have not conducted energy audit, but you can read. Because that's why in the requirement, knowledge and experience. You may not have the experience, but you have the knowledge. And then what else in energy audit? The key step involved in energy audit, and then common equipment used in conducting energy audit. And then you have to prepare energy audit report. Energy audit report, right? So what should be in your report? There are only two most important part in energy audit report. One, normally the trend of your consumption. Okay, what's the average, what's the maximum? Okay, what's the minimum of your consumption 1 year or 2 year, and then the distribution of your consumption of energy. Which one is using the largest in terms of percentage and kilowatt hour? Maybe for building sector, for example, aircon system up to 60% of your energy being used for aircon system. Okay, cooling system. For factories, varies from one to one. Okay, and then the second item, what should be in the energy audit report is energy saving measure identified from the energy audit. And this measure must come with some kind of description how to implement, what to implement, and the most important part, how much this measure can save energy. Normally in energy unit. And then you can convert into RM or in currency. If this measure involves some cost, you must conduct some common financial analysis like simple payback period calculation, ROI calculation. That's all you need to know about energy audit. You don't have to be an expert in energy audit, but you need to know what's energy audit all about. And then you should be able to explain to Energy Commission, to the panelists, that this is what energy audit all about. If you have got the experience, of course, you don't have the problem to explain that. Just explain your experience, what you have done. Okay? That's among the concern. Even though you are not, this is not, energy audit can be done by not even an electrical engineer. Any engineers can do energy audit. Okay? And then, another concern that about how to answer the question about energy saving measure, and when I'm not an expert. Come on, ST doesn't expect you to be an expert to apply to become a REEM. Otherwise, no one will become a REEM. Okay, I'm not an expert, honestly, in certain item. Okay, for example, they wanted to know what are the common energy saving measure you can implement at building or industrial facility. For example, in a common building facility, what do you have? You have air conditioning system for comfort cooling. And then you have lighting system. That's the common two major user in building sector, right? So they may ask you how you can save energy in building facilities. So you should answer from what you can do for the cooling system. Start with the cooling system. Okay? What you can do to your chiller. If you have centralized system, what can you do to your chiller? Okay? In the chiller plant, what do you have in chiller plant? You have a chiller. Okay? You have the condenser water pump, chill water pumps. Okay? And then away from the chiller plant, you have ASU and you have cooling tower at the top or somewhere outside. So what you can do at chiller? First, you can talk about energy efficient chiller, sizing of the chiller. Okay? And then the operation of the chiller. The combination of operation, maybe you have many chillers, how you combine it to make sure it's the most efficient is running, being fully utilized. And then you go to the pumps, condenser water pump, chill water pumps. Okay, what you can do to pumps? Pump has motor, right? So motor you can apply variable speed drive. Okay, and then temperature, you can control the temperature of the chiller, leaving and returning. So what the most optimum delta T values? You can refer to the standard. Okay, and then you go to the ASU. What do you have in ASU? You have blower. So you got damper. So what you can do? When you have blower motors, what can you do? How you can save energy? And then you go to cooling tower. Right, got fans over there, right? Got motors. What you can do for motors? What you can do to the fans? And then that one in terms of the equipment itself, how to save energy for each equipment in the system. And then how you operate the system. Okay, how you maintain certain temperature at the occupied area. You can refer to MS125, right? Between 23 to 36 degrees C. Maintain that values. Okay, how you control how you minimize heat gains in the air conditioned area to avoid more cooling load requirement. A lot of things actually. That how many minutes I explained already. This one, that's how many minutes? Only on aircon system. Okay, and you go to lighting system. Okay, lighting system, you have a lot of options. You can change from standard lighting, T8 to T5, T5 to LED. You can you can apply delamping. You take out all the unnecessary additional bulb in the fitting. You go for daylighting or possibilities, sensors, okay, timers. Plenty, right? That one for building sector, building facilities. If you go to factory, on top of some factory don't have the big cooling system. But if you can answer well, in the centralized aircon system, okay, of course you can answer any smaller of that, right? So if you go to factory, you have smaller system, similar answer about air conditioning system. Different with that, maybe for the factory, you may use the cooling for the process, not for the comfort. Okay? So, and then what else? You go to the factory, you get plenty of motors, right? Motors similar? What else can you answer? ST doesn't expect you to answer like an expert. At least you know the fundamental. Let's say for chiller, right? What's the indicator for chiller? Kilowatt per ton, right? The lower the better, or COP the higher the better. Lighting, what's the indicator for lighting system? Okay, lumen per watt, the higher the better. Alright, and then in terms of brightness, you refer to the lux level. Okay, and then you can refer to the standard MS125, the reference of the kilowatt per meter square, watt per meter square, for depending on the space or the area. These are what you can do to save energy. And then motors. Okay, 4 items: cooling system, lighting, motors. Okay, what you can do to motors? Sizing the motor must be correct. You can change from a standard motor to efficient motor, but you need to look at the criteria. What are the criteria to justify that, to change from standard motor to efficient motor? There are 2 criteria, right? Fully loaded and running 24 hours, the longest hours operation. So that's the best candidate to change from standard motor to efficient motor. What else can you do to motor? You can use variable speed drive, operational controls. Okay, whatever not used, just take it out or stop it. Okay, a lot of things on motors you can do. And then what else? Air compressor. Okay, air compressor system. Pressure setting must be optimized, loading and unloading. Minimize the leakage. Minimize the losses through a lot of bending in the piping system. All that. And then avoid misuse of compressed air for the cleaning, all that. It's a lot of things. So you don't have to worry if you're not an expert. All that common question and common answers. But the only issue is that you must answer calmly and confidently. You know, if you have the experience, explain clearly exactly what you did. If you have the experience, tell them you have a strong knowledge on that particular area. So nothing to worry. Thousands become REEM already, more than 1,400. Okay, not all of them went for the courses. Okay, many of them straight away apply and then pass. Some first time pass. You are a good engineer, you have experience, and ST has convinced that, and then they call you for interview. So what's there to worry? Now just prepare. I'm trying to share from what I know of, so that you can be more prepared. When during my time, during the early stage, no one is sharing like this. For those who came, the early batch, pity them. Okay, when I was the panel last time, pity them. Sometimes they don't know that they have to know all that. That's why after that, after a few sessions, when I was in charge, I came up with this guideline, and this guideline is still being used until now by ST. This guideline, I was the one that drafted this guideline last time, so that people come and prepare, have some idea. And now, I'm a practitioner, right? So I'm trying to help my fellow friends out there, so that you have more guides. So nothing to worry. Now be honest, be truthful, prepare, get yourself prepared. Okay? Okay? Another one about the regulations. Regulation. Of course, you have to mention the name correctly. Okay? But you don't expect, I still don't expect you to know every clause by clause or about the act. Okay? They wanted to know, for example, the act, what the act all about. So, Electricity Supply Act 1990 is about supply and safety, plus some about energy efficiency. Okay? And then for the safety regulation, electricity regulation 1994, you must know about the competency requirement for the safety and installation in particular. Chargemen, engineers who are competent people. You need to aware that you cannot simply go and work as a REEM. You must work with these people, because you are not authorized on safety part of the installation. You must work together with even if you want to conduct energy audit, you must make sure you are being accompanied by these competent people. You have no authority over the electrical installation. You must understand that, and I still want you to understand that, so that you must be able to tell them that you understand that as a REEM. Okay, so what else you are? Okay, nothing. So relax. Okay, prepare. And there's another one about you may maybe ask about the common standard or reference. You can refer about energy management. Okay, for management you can refer to ISO 50001. Okay, energy management system standard. Okay, now they got 208 version. And what are the standard related to that? For energy audit, you can refer to ISO 50002. Okay. To manage the ISO 2001, to manage the system, energy management system, you can refer to ISO 50004. Okay? if you want to criteria to establish a proper energy performance indicator and energy baseline in the energy management system, you can refer to ISO 50006. Okay. If you want to refer about measurement and verification of energy savings, okay, in the energy management system, you can refer to ISO 50015. Okay. If you're talking about technical standard, okay, about energy efficiency in Malaysia, you can refer to MS 1525. That's actually a guidelines for energy efficiency and renewable energy for non-residential building. At least you know where you can refer. Okay, bear in mind, being energy manager, you are not expected to become an expert. But if you are an expert in particular area, you are good. It's an advantage for whoever who engage you. Okay, so I hope that this video enlighten you further. Don't worry about even you are not electrical engineer. Okay, even though you may be mechanical engineer, even you are just a science degree holder, even architects, you know. That's why the requirement you can apply, because they expect you to become energy manager. Manager is supposed to manage, but along the way you must know some fundamental of energy savings and energy management as well. Okay, you must have some knowledge as well about energy management system. What is energy management system all about? Okay, the policy, the management commitment, the policy, energy planning, you know, the operation of the system, and then performance evaluations, and then management review, all that. The cycle of the energy management system. At least you know some what's energy management system all about. Because in the regulation, there are requirements for company to submit information on the policy, objective, okay, and then in the requirement in the regulation as well, you're supposed to advise them and guide them and analyze data for them and monitor their effectiveness of the system implementation. Okay, and then you have to look into all the documentation, all that. So all basically management job. Okay, so I hope this video enlighten you further. Okay, relax. Okay, don't worry. The most feared interview panel wasn't there anymore. It was me. Okay. ST are nice people. They guided you well. You go to the website. A lot of information is provided by ST in the website. Okay, you just follow the guide. Okay, it shouldn't be a problem for you to pass the interview. Just the only challenge that how you can go there and answer confidently, calmly. This way, answer step by step. Take your time, and then you should be able to answer well. Okay, and why I'm doing all this, because I want all of you to become REEM, whoever qualified, because the government is drafting the new act now. Okay, drafting the new act. They call Energy Efficiency and Energy Conservation Act. You know, it's supposed to be tabled in Parliament this year because of the political change. They delayed. I was told delayed to next year. But bear in mind, in the new act, I guarantee you, the requirement to become energy manager will be much more. Not as simple as now. Alright, you may have to just like Japan and India, even in Thailand, you must undergo certain mandatory course to apply to become a REEM or energy manager. Okay, and then you may have to sit for national level exam. Okay, national level exam. You know the passing rate at the country very low. Less than 50%. Okay, in all this country, very difficult. I saw when I was in Japan in the training last time, the question for the energy manager interview, energy manager exams, just as good as my second year thermodynamic question. Okay, my second year thermodynamic question. We have to refer to all the enthalpy, thermodynamic tables, all that, enthalpy, entropy, all that, as good as that. So, are you ready for that? So, but honestly, I would assume, if you become REEM now, when the new law coming, of course, I should be some kind of mechanism where the current REEM can have some privilege, right? Privilege. Okay? Maybe they have some exemption because you are the REEM. Compared to those who want to become energy manager at that time, you may have to go to the whole process, new process, but you are now REEM. I think realistically, there will be some kind of transition where they have to utilize the current REEM to meet that. Maybe you don't have to sit for exam. Maybe you have some kind of exemption on that. But that's why be a REEM now. Be a REEM now. So that's why, please, don't worry. You should be able to answer well. And then I hope this second sharing, will enlighten you further, to calm you a little bit, relax. Okay. read, read. You have not, if no experience, read. You should be able to answer. And then you have experience, I don't think you have problem to answer all that. Okay, so with that, I hope this sharing beneficial for you. And please share with others. Don't worry about interview. If you come over there prepared, okay, shouldn't be a problem. ST wanted to have more REEM, but same time you have to maintain meet that minimum requirement. So this is why ST provide quite good guide in their website, and I'm trying to explain to you from the practical or my experience point of view, so that you can share. Okay, somebody can share with you how it may look like lah. Alright, so simple as that. So I hope I have enlightened you further in this video, and then all the best in your interview. And if for those who haven't applied yet, please apply. Please become energy manager, and then it should be another good competency certificate for you. And then if you want to reach me, you go to the bottom of the screen. There will be my number, my email there. You can go to my website as well. So with that, Assalamualaikum and Salam Sejahtera. All the best. Okay.